What's up, everyone? This is Resilience in Action with Erin Brown, the number one podcast for anyone looking to have a greater human experience. This episode is sponsored by visual media. Are you an entrepreneur or a small business looking to take your brand to the next level? Then visual media is the service for you. Visual Media is a video production company who specializes in creating high-quality visual content for social media, websites, and online courses. Head over to Visual Media on Instagram and drop Resilience in their DM to get started. That's VZUALMEDIA_ to get started. What's going on, everyone? This is Resilience in Action with Erin Brown. And you're talking to your host, Erin Brown. Listen, today I am talking about the importance of celebrating the wins. And what do I mean by celebrating the wins? Basically, when you accomplish a goal, a mission, whatever it is, when you accomplish something and you celebrate the accomplishment of attaining that goal, that mission, the whatever it was you were striving for. That's what I mean by celebrating the win. Now, to go further, I want you to not only celebrate the big wins, right? Because when you think about it, we celebrate anniversaries, we celebrate birthdays, we celebrate, weddings, engagements, we have baby showers. We celebrate the big stuff, but let's talk about the little things, the little wins, right? Your daily wins. We should all have at least 2 daily wins that we can that they aren't really easily attainable, but it's not difficult. Like you might have to put in a little work and do a little more, but it's not like out of reach. So those small wins are what I'm talking about celebrating. Because I don't think we have to talk about celebrating the big stuff. It's the little things that we need to celebrate more. Now, I want to talk about the reason behind celebrating and why we should do it. And the one reason that I stand by 110% on why we need to celebrate even the smallest of wins is that it allows us to really reflect on what it is that we learned on that journey. Now, whether it's a big journey, whether it's a small journey, but what it was that we learned. So, say your goal was to drink so many ounces of water a day, right? And you accomplish that. Celebrate that. Enjoy the feeling. And what did you learn on that journey of drinking those ounces of water? Like water is good for us. We need it to make us feel better. Water reduces stress. It reduces headaches. It kind of rids out dehydration. It takes care of us mind, body, and soul. So we need to drink water. So what did we learn along that journey? And how can we continue on holding on to that knowledge to the next day and continue on making these small wins? Right? When you get in a situation or you do not celebrate your win, not only do you not really get a moment to reflect on what you learned, but you miss out on the opportunity of acknowledging the people or the systems that were in place that allowed you and helped you on that journey. Gratitude is big. I'm big on gratitude, y'all. You should know this by now. And how else can you imagine helping someone in the littlest of way, right? The littlest of way. Let's stick with the water. I come up to you and I'm like, hey, did you drink that water today? Where you at with your water? Where you at with those ounces? You know, that encouragement, it may seem like a bother, but it's encouragement. That encouragement really helps to hold you accountable, you know, and hold you responsible to making sure that you do accomplish that little win. You do reach the goals that you're looking to reach, you know, and say, okay, that's a person, right? A person coming up to you and hey, what's going on? Like, where you at with it? Y'all know I'm going live on Instagram 3 nights a week, right? So I told y'all, if y'all don't see me, hey, like, E, where you at? What you doing? So, okay, you have your people who can play a part, and you don't acknowledge them. You don't really get a chance to like show them that gratitude. But even the systems. Now there was a point in my life where this water is so relevant because I actually in my phone I had alarm set every hour that said drink water with a little glass of water next to it. So that's a small system that helped me stay on track. That reminded me because we get so bogged down in everything else that's going on in the day, right? In the week, in the month, whatever. We get so distracted and there's so many shiny objects and other things that we can be doing. So we get distracted. So it's good to put a system in place that helps to hold you accountable and helps you do what you need to do, right? So if we don't celebrate those little wins, we don't celebrate, hey, I drank the amount of water I was supposed to drink today. I don't take the time for myself to step back, acknowledge the people or the systems that are in place or that I put into place that allow me to celebrate, that allow me to attain that win in the first place. You know, so that is one of the things that like like we have to celebrate the wins, right? Why don't we celebrate the small wins? I came up with three reasons I believe we don't celebrate small wins. And you can definitely add on. I would love for this to be interactive. So if you're watching this um, on my YouTube channel, or if you're listening on Spotify or iHeart or Apple or Google, feel free to comment where you can and leave comments, and let's open this discussion up. Let's have a conversation. But I don't believe we celebrate much the little wins anymore. The number one is just we are working so hard. We're doing a lot, right? So we're like we accomplished that, and it's going on to the next thing, not celebrating like, okay, I didn't hit this mark. Now, let me take a moment, take a step back, acknowledge what I've learned, the lessons, the people, the systems in place that helped and allowed me to reach this level, right? But we skip that whole part and we're just boots on the ground, ready to do the next thing, right? That's number one. Number two, I think society has been projecting its thoughts on and opinions on other people's lives, and of course, we do that to ourselves. We hold that mirror up on ourselves, and we really, put ourselves in a bad position mentally. That mindset isn't in the right spot. And what I mean by society projecting its opinions, like you should have accomplished this by this age. And if you didn't, like, shame on you. You're a horrible person. Grow up. Like, all of that, like, man, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy to think about, like, what our parents and our parents' had to go through, and the type of language that their parents used with them, and they turned around and used it with us, and even in the workforce, even in the workforce. Like, you should be making this amount of money by this age. You should have your degree and know exactly what you want to do by this age. When over half of the people who go to college don't even know what they're going to college for. They're just going to say that they go until they're there, and they learn a little bit more about themselves. They grow that confidence, and now they know what it is they want to do, which direction. But that first year, maybe even 2 years, the students really don't know. That's why you have those general education classes, so you can get those prereqs knocked out of the way. So hopefully that's like your buffer, so you know which avenue you want to go, where you want to go, who you want to be, when you grow up, in a sense. But yeah, like, society really has given us this warped view, or skewed view, should I say, of the things we're supposed to have at said time. And I think that also bogs us down, so we're not really celebrating. Maybe someone who's just getting the keys to their first apartment at 27, 28, right? They're not really super excited because everybody on their timeline is like, well, if you're 27, you still living at home, or if you're 27, I'm not going to celebrate you, posting keys of your apartment. Like, I've seen that. Granted, I am very aware of I'm intentional about my social media, so those people get blocked, because who needs that type of negativity? If you try to celebrate, do not allow the opinions of others to deter you from celebrating where you are, because you are on this journey. No one else is, right? Hey, hey, hey. If you're enjoying this content, do not forget to rate and review. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, be sure to rate and review. It helps us reach more people in more ways. Now, let's get back to some resilience. Number 3. That number 2 goes right into number 3, and I think there is a level of vulnerability that comes with celebrating, because that shows happiness. Like celebrating releases dopamine. Like, you literally cannot feel bad while you're in celebration. That the dopamine is the feel good hormone, and you're excited, you're happy. Again, here we are finding ourselves, you know, holding that mirror up, worried about what other people will think about you, because you're celebrating getting the keys to your apartment, when they think that you should have the keys to a 5-bedroom, 6-bath house or something like that. Like, so there's a level of vulnerability that comes with, I believe, that comes with celebration and celebrating. And I think we're in, like I said, we are worried about and wrapped up in the opinions of others and how others will view us and what we've accomplished. So that in turn makes us not celebrate the little wins. Let me just keep my head down. I'm gonna keep these little wins, but I'm just gonna keep going, keep my head down, keep pushing away, keep trucking away. And ultimately, what does that do? What does that do? Like, it's exhausting. So when you get to the big goal, like, some people are like, oh, I did all this work. Like, yeah. But imagine how much better you would feel if you had celebrated every step of the way. Every win on that journey. Celebrated every win. It's a different level of validation, self-validation, a different level of self-reflection. Because at the very, very end of the day, no matter what anyone says, the only thing that matters, the only opinion that matters, is your opinion of yourself. So if you feel like you're doing a good job and you are generally doing the best that you can, you don't allow anyone else's opinions about what you could be doing better come in and stomp on who you are. Like, Of course, and I'm not saying constructive criticism and feedback. Like, I'm not saying that just dismiss all of that, because there's levels to this. But at the very, very end of the day, at the top level, top tier, your opinion on yourself means more than the opinions of anyone else. And I stand by that 110%. And y'all can try to challenge that, and you can attempt to say what you want, but that is my opinion. I'm sticking by it. That's my opinion. Nobody's opinion matters more than your opinion of yourself. So if you want to celebrate your little wins, you go ahead and celebrate your little wins. I encourage you to. 110%. I don't know who said this, but success is a series of little victories. Little victories, small wins, small accomplishments. And success is on the other side of every single small win. You're getting closer and closer to that big goal, right? And then you can like go crazy, go wild, and really, really like really have that moment of reflection of everything. Now, if you celebrate every small win, or maybe not every, but celebrate, I'll say this, celebrate your small wins. I'll let you do the math and be the judge of how many you want to celebrate. But celebrate your small wins and keep track. Write notes. Take notes of your small wins and the lessons you learned and the people who helped you and the systems that helped you. By the end, when you reach your big goal, you already know exactly, you got the blueprint. You have the blueprint on how to accomplish that again and again and again and again. So, y'all, celebrate the wins. Celebrate the wins. Do not allow work to overload you. To don't allow yourself to be distracted by the shiny objects. Stop allowing society's opinions to dictate what you think about yourself and how you feel. And also, listen, that level of vulnerability, hey, vulnerability is the strongest emotion out there. If it wasn't, it would be so easy to do. But being vulnerable is difficult. That's a topic for a whole nother podcast. But this right here, there's a level of vulnerability. So I want you to get comfortable with going against the grain, maybe. Get comfortable with who it is you are and who it is you are wanting to be. Who it is that you want to be in the future. Tomorrow, the next day, a year from now, 5 years from now. Get comfortable in knowing that there's going to be ups and downs, ebbs and flows, smooth parts and hills. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be adversity. But if you stay true to who you are and keep in mind the end goal, there is nothing that can stop you from achieving it. Nothing. With that being said, I hope this episode was as good for you as it was for me. I talk about a lot, and most of my solo episodes is me talking to me. And I know someone out there needs to hear it as well. And how foolish, how selfish how selfish of me, goodness gracious, how selfish of me not to be able to hop on here and share this information with you. And I'm just going to hoard it all to myself. My absolute favorite quote is, knowledge is like magic. It's great to possess, even greater when it's shared. That's all EB. So if you like that, use it. That's all me though. That's all me.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to rate and review. And remember, resilience in action will always lead to a greater human experience.